a quick tutorial on how to blur your background and go from this to this in Photoshop. Let's get to it. So blurring your background can be used for a lot of reasons. Let's say you're shooting on your iPhone or you want to have more control over the blurred background. Whatever it may be, this is a really quick and easy way to do it. Obviously, this photo needs a little more fixing with exposure and such, but we're going to look over that for the sake of this tutorial. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to go over here and unlock our layer there. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to Quick Actions, which Photoshop has made very easy, and hit Select Subject. Now what it did here was it selected this pillar, because maybe this pillar looked like our subject. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our Quick Selection tool, and we're going to just get rid of that. Perfect. And then if you can see, if we zoom in, we have to clean this up just a hair. Let's make sure we get all of our shoe here. Yeah. That'll do. So this little bit right here, I would say usually maybe you can go in and change, but since it's so small, we're not going to do that. If you have a bigger gap, like let's say the gap between your leg or your arms out a little more, obviously you're going to want to go in and fine tune that. So what we're going to do now is we've got our subject selected. We're going to select and mask. And the big thing I'll say here is remember to put it on a new layer with a layer mask. So boom, there we go. And what we're going to do now, so we're going to go back to our original layer, which still has our subject. We're going to select our subject again, do the whole thing we did last time. Get rid of that. Add that in. Get rid of that. And then we're going to go up to Select, Modify, Expand, and we're going to put about 10 in here. That'll just make sure our edges are a little more out, so they're not right up against when we do the next step. So we're going to hit OK. Perfect. See, it brought out just a little bit, and it also shows us where we might have missed. Where we might have missed along the edges here. Beautiful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into Edit, Content Aware Fill. So Photoshop has this awesome tool, and it's very simple. Just you're going to hit it. And look at that. This is how Photoshop is just superior. I mean, just crazy. Crazy how it does that. So you're going to hit OK. You can see we have a little bit here. It's okay. I don't care about that. And then, see, if we hide our top layer, we are hidden down here. Look at that. It's like, yeah, obviously you can see where I was, but for the sake of this, I mean, that did a really, really good job. So there I am. Now I'm not there. So now we're going to take this background layer, and we're going to go up to our filter. We're going to go to our blur gallery and go to tilt shift blur. I'm going to click that. And now you can kind of have some more control over the blur. What we're going to do is we're going to move this down to where my feet were, because this is going to be the clear area. This area in between the boxes is where it won't be blurred. So let's move it down. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we can move it down a little more. And then we can bring up the blur over here if we want it a little more blurry. I kind of like that, actually. And then over here, as you can see, kind of plays with it as well. I wish I could tell you all the technical terms of it. This is just stuff I've learned over the years, being self-taught. So now that we do that, we're going to hit OK. Perfect. And we're going to bring us back in by just hitting that eyeball. And look at that. A very quick way to give us a nice blurred look in our background and keep our subject standing out. Makes an iPhone photo definitely look a little more professional. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment on them. Obviously, we can probably go in and touch up the blurring around here and all that jazz. But for the most part, this is a quick way to just make sure you have a nice looking blur on your photos. Have any questions? Feel free to comment, and I'll do the best I can to answer.